What's up guys, this is Alex Later. This is part 2 of the Adobe Muse tutorials. Today we'll be learning how to use slideshows and compositions. I have opened up all the pages that I'm going to need to demonstrate what I'm going to be doing today. So first off, let's go to our master page. And if you're just seeing this video as the first video, please go back and watch video 1 about the basics of Muse. What we're going to do is that we're going to add in a slideshow. We're going to go over to our widgets library, we're going to go to slideshow, and what we're going to do is we're going to use a slideshow to create the background for our website. Yes, it's called the slideshow, but you can put one image in, and instead you can also click over here and click fill, add image, and you can go over to where your picture is saved. You can click on it, and there you go. But the problem with that is that you get it where it pins it weird and it looks slightly different. So if we were to preview this, this is what it'll look like. It doesn't fit it to the page, unfortunately, which it makes it look bad. So instead, what I've learned to do is I've learned to not use this, and by going into widgets library, going into slideshows, clicking the drop down arrow and dragging in a full screen slideshow. We're going to leave all of this on except for we're going to take all these off. Take autoplay off, enable swipe. We're going to get rid of all of these, and that's basically it. So you get a blank slideshow. But what we are going to do is we're going to go right click, arrange, send to back, and then we're also going to move to layer of content. And one thing with our layers that I forgot to mention is that you should have, if you want to have your footer, have our footer just under our header there like that, so our content is at the lowest and is going to be at the back. Now when we click preview, you get an image that is stretched automatically to the full size of the person's browser. We're going to change this image to an image that I like. I'm just going to use this image that I got. Nice waterfall, looks nice, and it automatically extends itself to fit the web browser. Another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change the opaquency of this rectangle to add a nice subtle effect. I would have normally done this in the last tutorial, but I had nothing to show you that there's actually an opaquency difference. As you can see, as I drag this, this rectangle, it goes from not being able to see through it at full opaquency to translucent all the way down to transparent. So I normally set mine above 60, so I'm going to set mine at, let's say, 75. There. Now it's at 75% opaquency, which is, it adds a very subtle effect. I'm going to do the same thing with the footer. 75, enter. Now when we preview our page, you get a nice layout. Now what I'm going to do is, now that we have our background, let's move into creating drop-down style menus, and here, just let me show you guys. So on my about page, I want to be able to hover my mouse over something and have a dialog box pop up, and then when you move your mouse off of the target area and off of what's being shown, that it disappears. And I wanted to do this for multiple different things. So on my contact page, I want to have it so that when you move your mouse over a menu, or over a certain image, it brings up a menu. How we're going to do this is I'm just going to quickly add in some text saying that this is the contact page. I'm going to do this, drag in a simple box, and let's make this, let's add this. So let's change the size of this, trying to fill it. So let's type in contact, change that to a white font, to white, and then let's upsize it some more. it fills. And let's go center line. If we can get this any larger, that'd be great. There. Let's drag this to about here. Let's make sure it's lined up with our margins. There we go. Now what we're going to do is we're going to create a simple composition, which can be used for many different things. So you go into your compositions, and I'm just going to drag in a blank composition. And let's drag it up here. Make sure it's inside of our content. I'm just going to quickly resize it here. There. Now everything's in here. But as you can see, these are useful for doing things like this. Because when I click on this, the color down here corresponds to the color up here. So these are your triggers, and this is your target area. So when I click on these different ones, they bring up different things. So I'm going to click clear all styling. I'm just going to clear everything out of these, just to have a blank canvas to work with. So for our stylings, we're just going to do, let's create like a simple one of like a did you know type of thing. So we're just going to center that there, and we're going to take our triggers and what's a good one that we could do? Let's line that up there, line this up here. This one, hold on, let me clear the styling out of it, clear all styling. This one, let's clear the styling out of that one. I click clear all styling. So now these are different boxes that we can use to do this. There we go. So now these are all, as you can see, when we go to preview the web browser, you don't actually see anything. You can see my mouse kind of changes because it knows that there's something there. But let's add some actual content to this. So if you give me a minute, I'm going to go and grab some icons. Okay guys, I'm back. I'm going to show you a really neat website for grabbing icons and stuff, but we're going to head over to iconarchive.com. It's an amazing website to grab icons, and they even have icons that are images of all sorts that have all types of licensing. So I normally go over here and I click commercial free. So that means that you can use them in almost anything. And now what you can do is you can just grab different icons and click refresh page and grab some more. So let's go with this nice looking cat. And you always want to make sure that you're allowed to use these. So for commercial use, you always want to make sure that that's allowed. I normally just grab the 128 one, go save image as. Let's go to our documents, save it to where we want it. I'm going to save it in my tutorial. And so there's the cat. Let's grab this one here as a third image, as a second image that we're going to use. Right click, save image as. Yeah, my internet's a little bit slow today, unfortunately. Oh, whoops. There. Click save. And let's get this cat here as well. Let's grab this one, save image as, and save. So now we have 3 images. Let's head back into Muse. Okay, now that we're back in Muse, we can go ahead and create our actual content for this page. What we're going to do is I'm going to add in a couple images. So as you can see here, we have our images. Let's just hold down Control and click on the images, and let's drag them in to here. As you can see, when you click, paste it in, and you get your 3 images. Now what we're going to do is we are going to drag these into our content boxes, but into our triggers. So actually, let's Control and do, and let's resize these to be 50% of what they were before. Hold on, Control and do. And resize these to be 50% of what. Let's go with 30% of what they were before. Let's drag that into our content box like that. Got our next one. Resize that to 30% of what it originally was. like that. Drag that into there. And then our other image, and resize that to 30%, and drag it into there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to make it that each one of these has a duplicate of that image to correspond with it. So let's right click, paste in place, drag that out of there. Let's resize our content box. Now we have some content. This one brings up that cat, this one will bring up this cat. Let's go right click, paste, and let's make the images larger again. And let's go to our third one, and let's right click, copy, right click, paste. So we have our corresponding cat images popping up. Let's click preview. Now as you can see, click on them, they go to their corresponding image. So this can be used for many different things. I'm just using these images as an example to show how you can use these for bringing up information boxes as to represent things that you've done, or just many different things. But now what we're going to do is we're going to select the entire composition, and we're going to change some of the rules on it. So the larger images are what are known as your target, and what we're going to do is we're going to have it that it's not hiding the target unless you click on something else. So what I want actually is I want it to hide the actual target initially. So we're going to have triggers on top and then hide all initially. But we're going to have it that when you roll over that, it shows it, and when you roll your mouse off of it, it gets rid of it. So let's click preview, and I'll show you what I mean. So now see that there's nothing up here, but when I move my mouse over it, it shows the entire content box. Now when I move my mouse over here, look, it stays. As soon as I drag my mouse off of it, it goes away. See, it slowly fades away. And I can move my mouse over to another one, over to another one, but I can quickly go like this, and it displays what we want it to. As soon as I move my mouse off, it disappears. So this was just a very quick example of how to use the composition in just displaying content. But what if you want to have a drop-down menu like on a mobile site? Let's just delete this, and I'm going to show you something else. If I'm not mistaken, if I go into page, add alternative layout, and I click on phone. This is another feature of Muse that allows you to create a website that when you upload it to wherever you're hosting it, which I'll show in another video how to do, you have a version of your website that looks nice on a desktop, one that looks nice on phones, and one that looks nice on tablets. This will be an example for how to create the one for phones. But what you want to do is you want to copy your entire layout or your entire files, your structure for website from the desktop, and then just click OK. As you can see, it brought up these 3 tabs up here, but as you can see, there's nothing on these pages. They're completely empty. So let's go and add in some content from the phone. So let's go over to our desktop A master, open up that, and let's close out of our other ones here, exit out of those. And now that we have our A master from our desktop, let's go into our A master from our phone. What we're going to now do is we're just going to do Control A, but we're going to copy everything by doing right click, copy, go to our master page for our phone, and right click, paste in place. So as you can see, it kind of mushed everything in, but we still have our box up at the top, we still have our box here, and we still have our menu. At least parts of our menu kind of disappeared, hasn't it? So we are going to just do this, our lessons, lock that back into place. And we are just going to resize our menu to be a little bit smaller so it all fits within here. And we're going to drag that up at the top here. Oh. And we are now going to drag this over, and we are going to resize its actual box. If I'm not mistaken, where'd it go? Where'd this thing go? Oh, that's weird. No, let me just resize the text on this one. Oh, make that text a little bit smaller. There we go, and then I'm going to lock this so that this is lined up. We're going to drag everything up and over like so. Make a preview. Now we have our, oh, hold on, I guess that our menus are a little bit messed up. So it's not that pretty when you do it like this. So I'm going to go ahead and delete out this menu. We're going to go ahead and delete, and delete. Well, now we have no navigation for our website on our phone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my folder where I have a menu icon, and I'm going to drag it into here. I'm going to click down. See, it's a pretty large image, so I'm just going to resize it. As you can see, if you've ever gone on any mobile website, you probably recognize these three bars, and it's normally universally known that, oh, this means, oh, we have a menu. So we're just going to drag that over a little bit farther over. Now, this lets the user know that there is actually a menu. So what we're going to do is we are going to add in a composition. So let's go to our widgets library, compositions, blank. And we are going to delete the second and third target. We're going to right click, clear all styling, right click, clear all styling, and we're going to resize this box to fit the page. And hold on, drag this and line that up with that bar there. And we're going to have it so that it pops down a nice menu whenever you hover your mouse over this target. So we're going to go on rollover and off target and so on. And fading, we're going to have it fade away quite quickly. And triggers on top, hide all initially, and preview. As you can see, we have what looks like a phone. When we move our mouse over, normally if we move our mouse over, it should bring it up. That's weird. Oh yeah, because there's nothing in our box, sorry. Let's add some fill to this. Let's just add gray. Preview. Hidden all initially, move our mouse over, and it stays until we move our mouse off both the target, or the trigger and the target. Move our mouse off and it's gone. So I'm actually not too happy with the way that this is. I'm just going to resize this to be a lot smaller. I'm going to resize this to be a lot smaller. We can hold down shift and we can try and make this a box that of equal width and height, and we're going to drag this into there. And now, whoops, we're going to drag this up here. We're going to line that up, and let's just move that up a little bit, and that looks about right. So preview. There. Now we have a menu. So what we're also going to do now is we're going to build our structure for our actual navigation. So let's go into menu. Let's add in a vertical menu this time. We're going to do it manually this time. Vertical, uniform size, and show label. Take the label off. Well, no, we want the label on. And now we're going to add our home plus we're going to add our lessons. We're going to add our, say, our structure here. About contact. Okay, let's go to our about our contact, and then under lessons we are going to add beginner, intermediate, I hope I'm spelling that right. Yeah, diat. And then I'm going to add in our expert. And let's just drag this menu up here. We're going to line that up. And let's drag this to fill the page, to fill our actual thing here. We're going to left align this a little bit. But I want this to stay, actually, hold on, let's just right click. Actually, let's get rid of these here. Let's delete that. Actually delete, hold on. Delete, delete, and delete. Let's actually add just more underneath this. Let's go expert. Let's add our intermediate, and then let's add our beginner. Okay, so home, lessons, beginner, intermediate, expert, but I'm just going to drag these, hold on, and I'm going to select edit together, and I'm going to drag, oh, why can't I drag these out? This is weird. That's weird. Let me get right back. Okay, I'm back. I've decided what I'm going to do. I'm going to create another vertical menu, and we are going to create it to be manual, and we're going to make this beginner, intermediate, and now expert. I'm going to drag this over, and we're definitely going to resize this to be a lot smaller. Line that up with the side page, and we're going to have this lined up in the middle there. So one thing I do want to do is I want to have it so that you have to actually click on lessons to get to all of the different tutorials and so on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this as a separate item, have lessons over on the side to make it look nicer. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in yet another menu item. I'm going to go widgets library, horizontal, drag that in, and we're going to do manual. We're going to resize this to be a lot smaller. I'm just going to close that. We're going to drag this over here like so, and we're going to call this one lessons. So it should be pretty intuitive on how this whole menu thing works. But our home, we are going to hyperlink that to our home. About is going to be linked to our, hold on, let's change this to our about, our, hold on. Sorry, change that to our home, our about, our contact. Let me just see our phone view. Lesson. That's great. Change that to lessons. And same on our home one. Lessons. Okay, changed. There we go. Contact. Change this. Whoa. Hyperlink that to lessons. This one is going to be to beginner, intermediate, and then our expert. Okay, so now let's click preview and let's see how this looks. We have nothing, and now we have all of our stuff, and I'm not too sure why it's doing that, but I'm going to pin this up to the top of our page. Why can't I pin it? I want to be able to pin stuff. Is pinning not a thing? I guess pinning is not a thing in this. Huh. That's weird. Click preview and see what happens. It's really widening it. Don't understand why that is. Let's just make this a little bit smaller, drag this over. Preview. That's still weird. Should not be doing that. There. Preview that. There we go. Everything's on our page now. So now that we have all that, that is simply how you can add in a composition and use it as a drop-down menu. And now let's say that when you're actually editing all your stuff, here, let's just from here to here, hold on, from here, drag that actually into our header. Oh, hold on, Control and do there, and right click. Let's do Control Alt, right click. Hold on, Control Alt, right click, move to layer, header, and then this one we actually want to add to our footer. Oh crap. Slideshow. We want to add our slideshow to content. Hold on. Slideshow, we want to move into our content. There. Fixes everything. But one trick I do want to show is how simple it is. So when you're editing other pages on, let's say here, let's say you want to edit your home page for your phone, for the actual phone one, and you don't want this box popping up here, which you can then go back and do is you can go to your master page, you can go to layers, header, and take off the composition, and now you're left with something that's blank that you can then work with and edit, which makes editing very simple and easy to do. But that was pretty much it. I wanted to make a tutorial on how to add in compositions and slideshows. In the next video, I will be showing how to host your website on a website that I know of called biz.nf. They offer free domain names of .co.nf, which are not professional, but they're good enough to get started with. And that's pretty much it. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe.